Welcome to Faith Flour and Mason Jars. I'm Leah and this is my little southern kitchen. Today we are going to learn how to preserve peas, y'all. This is one of my favorite things to do. This is one of the first things we do each year, and so we're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to show you step by step. I want you to know if you have any questions throughout this video, jot them down, drop them in the comments, and I will answer your questions for you. You can go over, check out Facebook, our Faith Flour and Mason Jars Facebook page. You can ask all your questions there. If there's something that you want to learn how to preserve, or a recipe that you want to try, but you're not brave enough to do it on your own, what you're going to do is you're going to drop a comment over on my Faith Flour and Mason Jars page, or in this video, somehow we'll connect. I'll get that recipe and I will do it video step by step how I do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna try this out. This is my first time recording like a preservation video. Usually I do food because it wasn't canning season. So today we are going to preserve some peas. We're gonna get these things all blanched up and ready to throw in the freezer. Now, just as a little side note, our peas, we do have 3 raised beds. We have 2 of them that we raised peas in. It is not near enough to last us for the year. We got, I believe, a gallon of shelled peas from our raised beds. So we saved the peas that we grew for a very special time. So these are the peas that we've ordered from like a local farm market that I'm going to show you how to preserve. Now, what you're not going to see in this video, because I didn't think they would be super thrilled with me videoing how the pea hauler works. It's a little contraption. It looks like it's made of gears and belts and weirdness, but anyways, it works great. It hauls those peas so these fingers don't have to spend hours and hours doing that. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing and how we're doing it, but I want you to let you know we're skipping that whole process. I did not buy these peas already hauled. I had to do these. I had to take these up to the hauler and had to do them. Now, for years we hauled them all by hand. And then we got smart and we realized that they can do like a whole bushel of peas for $2. That's not even worth me sitting here trying to do these peas. So that's what we're going to do. We haul them all up there. That's what we do every year. Now the little tiny bit that we get from our garden, we haul them by hand. Joe and I sit down and do it while we're watching TV, and we enjoy doing that small amount. But anyways, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and take the biggest stock pot you have, fill it up with water. You're going to put that on the stove and you're going to bring that to a boil. While you're waiting for that water to boil, you're going to get your cooling pan ready. So you're going to take your biggest container that you have and you're going to fill that with cold water. When that water comes to a boil, you're going to dump in your peas. Now, my stock pot is pretty big. I have some pretty big pots around here. And so I can put in 1 gallon of peas in my boiling water. So as soon as the last pea enters that boiling water, you're going to set your timer for 2 minutes. Once the 2 minutes is done, you're going to quickly, as possible, dump that water out. Now, you're going to notice that I'm putting it in a strainer, and then there's a bowl underneath that because I want to catch all that hot water. I'm not going to just waste water and dump it down the drain. I'm going to reuse this water. You can reuse the water from blanching up to 3 times. 3-4 times max. After that, you're going to want new water. So then once you get those peas out, you're going to put, once you get the peas out of the boiling water, you're going to put them in the nice cold water, because what blanching does is it's a 2-step process where you put your vegetables into boiling water, and after they're boiled for a certain amount of time, each vegetable is different, then you plunge them into cold water and it shocks them. And what it does is it preserves the flavor, and it keeps it nice, bright green, beautiful, vibrant green, and it destroys any kind of enzymes or anything that's going to cause your vegetables to spoil. So that's what I'm doing. I am getting them out of that boiling water and I'm putting them in that cold water. Some people use ice in the water. Do you imagine how much freezer space I would need to use ice when I'm blanching things? So no, I do not use ice. I just use the coldest water in my tap water. I empty it out and put fresh cold water in a couple of times. You'll see how I do that, and we go from there. So that water that's in that bowl, that hot boiling water that's in that bowl, here shortly I'm going to dump it back into my stock pot, reboil it, because I have another gallon of peas that I'm going to blanch. So while this water is coming to a boil, again, you want the water coming to a boil before you put the vegetables in there. So I'm gonna have that water come to a boil. See that second gallon of peas over there ready? Okay, here we go. The water is boiling. I'm gonna dump that second gallon of peas in there. And then we're gonna let those blanch for 2 minutes. You do it anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. I always do 2 minutes just to be safe. And they always taste scrumptious. So once I find a way to do that I like, that's the way I always do it. So those are gonna set in that hot water for 2 minutes. Now you can see that I put my first batch of peas over in the 2 little bowls with cold water. And now I'm fixing to put these peas into some cold water into the gray bin. This is gonna be their first little shock. This time I'm dumping the water right down the drain because I have no more peas to blanch. So I always try to run a little bit of cold water down that. I don't like to put boiling water down my drains. We don't need any problems. So I was goofing off and I didn't get enough cold water into my gray bin early enough. So I am just draining these peas out of the boiling water, and then I'm going to put some cold water into that gray bin. I was a little off my game. I think I was like making supper while I was doing this, and I don't do well multitasking. I have to stick to the job at hand, y'all. So, okay, so we're going to put those peas in there. We're going to fill that up with some nice cold water. After the water starts feeling a little bit warm, you're going to strain those peas again, and then you're going to refill that up. I dumped all the peas back into this. You don't see this part, but I dump all the peas back into the gray bin, fill it up with cold water again, and then I let it sit there and think about itself. I want that water to where when I put my hand in it, the peas are cold and the water is cold. See how they're sitting here resting? That is cold water, and it is cooling down those peas. So now that I got the peas all cooled down, one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to put your peas in bags and close them with the peas too hot, or they will spoil before they freeze. Ask me how I know. Trust me, make sure those peas are room temperature or colder before you put them in the bag. So as you can see, I'm draining them out. I want as much water off of the peas before I put them in bags. I let them drain for a while before I put them in bags to store in the freezer. So as you can see, I'm getting all these peas nice and drained. Guys, if you have never had peas that you've blanched yourself, you are missing a treat. They're absolutely amazing. So now you can see that I have a bag, and then I have my quart jar funnel thing. I'll have to show you a close-up video of that at another time, but that is how I'm getting these peas into the bags. I do 2 cups of peas at a time. You can do whatever amount works for you. So then I just go through and I fill each bag until I have all the peas used up. 2 cups to a bag is what Joe and I eat. But what I was saying is, if you guys have never ever tried fresh blanched peas or just peas fresh from the field, and you only get the stuff in the freezer section at the store, you guys are missing a treat. You must try this on your own. It is work. Yes, I can go to the store and I can get this probably cheaper than what I paid here, but the flavor is completely different and it is absolutely amazing. Now we're going to close these. Here's the trick. This is the part a lot of people mess up on. You need to get all the air out of that bag that you can. You want as little air in there as you can. And as you can see, we're going to explain a little bit of what we're doing here to close our bags. I squeeze all the air out. There's no water in the bags. I squeeze all the air out, and then I twist my bag, and then I fold it over. There is no air getting into that bag. If I would just use a twist tie and that's what we do, then you would still be able to get air in the bag. But when you fold it over like that, that extra little job there, that keeps it a little bit more secure so air cannot get in the bag. The only way air is going to get in the bag now is if you poke a hole in it. And we're going to be careful not to do that. So there we go. One more time. See how I squeeze it, get all the air out, and then I twist, 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 fold over, and then I use my twist tie. I'm going to talk to you at a later date about how I color code everything from year to year. This year, I'm going to be using red twist ties on everything. That way, I know 2026 is red twist ties. Last year, I think I used yellow. I'd have to look. And then you just know from year to year, okay, all the yellow vegetables are gone. That means we ate all of 2025 vegetables. So we color code everything that we can because it just makes sense to us. So you're going to go through, I've done hundreds and hundreds of bags of vegetables in the freezer. So I can like do the whole like closing situation way faster than probably you can right now, because this is what I do. This is kind of like my thing. So anyways, you just squeeze the air out as much as you can, twist it, fold it over, and twist tie it. Now the freezing part is super duper duper important. And ask me how I know this too. You are going to want to make sure when you put them in your freezer that you put them in without them touching each other. You do not want 2 bags of fresh vegetables in the freezer touching each other, or they can spoil before they freeze. We'll do another video on that. I'd like to take this moment to ask you to like this video, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave me a comment. I read every single comment. I try to reply to them all. That is so helpful if you could do that for me. I want to show you everything that I know as far as canning and preserving, and I do know a little. From my little southern kitchen to yours, I'm grateful you're here today. Y'all come back now.